Come into an all-fours position with your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Turn your toes under and spread your fingers out wide. Getting ready for cat-cow, open the throat, lift the head, drop the spine, and then exhale as you round the spine. Inhale, open the throat, dropping that spine, and exhale as you round it, pulling the navel into the spine. This time, as we round forward, we're going to move into downward dog, lift up, press your heels down, stretch back, and then come forward back into a cow position, dropping the spine, opening the throat, inhaling and exhaling into downward dog. Come on down, drop the knees, get ready for a tricep push-up. Bending the elbows, nose towards the floor and pressing up using the backs of the arms. Elbows stay in. One more. Nose to the floor and pressing up. Extend your left arm forward and your right leg back, keeping those toes turned under like you're pulling your body apart, and then stay controlled. Go to the other side. Great control in the core, just balancing, pulling that body apart, keeping those toes turned under. And let's get ready to do that whole sequence again. Cat-cow, inhaling and dropping the spine, and then exhaling, rounding the spine. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, and then exhale, and then press back into a downward dog, stretching those arms out, pressing the heels down, coming back down onto the knees. One more time, inhale, and then exhale, press back. Tricep push-ups. Make sure the elbows don't go back, go forward, nose down to the floor, and keep those elbows locked into the sides. Extend the left arm forward, right leg back, and then the other side. Extending, keeping control in the core. Do it 2 more times. Trying to stay balanced. And now moving on, we're going to take our left leg out to the side. You can keep it back a little bit further behind you or straight out and up. It just depends on your flexibility. And then sit back onto the heels, stretching those arms forward, stretching the inner thigh of the leg that's straight. And let me show you a front view. Let's do it again, sitting back, giving a nice stretch to the inner thigh and coming up again. Make sure that toe behind you is turned under. You can always adjust. Always move that foot out, up or down. Try to keep it to the side and try to keep the whole entire back of the foot down on the ground. Tent the fingers, welcome to the side, and we're going to lift up that straight leg, turning that toe down. Make sure it's not shifting up in any weird way. Toes down, and we're going to lift and down and touch the toe. Lift, working that outer thigh, just a couple more, and then relax it down and press. Shake that out, bend that knee, and let's take it to the other side. Straightening that leg out, getting ourselves set, planting that foot, and walking those hands forward, sitting back, and then inhaling as we come up and exhaling, or vice versa, as we shift back. Just keeping that stretching going, working through those kinks in those muscles. And let's walk back, tent those fingers, take them over to the side just for balance. Turn that toe under and lift. Lift. One more. And relax it. Plant that foot, shake it out a little bit, bending that knee. Come to a kneeling position. Round your spine all the way up. lifting those shoulders up, rolling them back. Make sure those toes are turned under behind you, raising those arms up, clasping the fingers, and we're going to put your clasped fingers behind your head, open up the chest, inhale, spread those elbows out wide, and then exhale and take it to one side. Nice side bend, opening up the chest, working the waistline. And then let's straighten one arm, straighten the other, and reach. One arm maybe touches the floor, maybe it won't get there. But we're going to keep it nice and gentle, just opening up our body. Getting those obliques to contract on one side and extend on the other. Keep that breathing going, and then relax that. Roll those shoulders back one more time. And let's add that in, going through the sequence one last time. Coming on to all fours, getting ready for cat-cow, turning those toes under. Inhale, drop the spine, open the throat, and then exhale as you lift the navel towards the spine. One more time, and this time get ready, go into down dog, stretch back, stretch those heels back, and then come forward, push-ups. Nose in front of the fingers, elbows real close to the sides. And then extending opposites, opposite arm, opposite leg. Just straightening that body. It's okay if it doesn't straighten all the way. If you're doing it in the morning, your body's a little tight and it's just warming up. Let's extend one foot to the side, sit back, stretch out. Bend that knee if it makes it a little bit easier on the knee. We're stretching that inner thigh, reaching through, planting that foot down of the leg that's straight and turning that other toe under of the leg that's bent. And then get ready, move those fingers over and lift and down, lift. Just shaping those hips just briefly. Take it to the other side. Coming, centering up, extending that foot down, planting that foot, and then sitting back and coming forward. Really reach with those arms, really reach with those legs. One more stretch back, and then let's get ready to take those hands to the side, turn that toe down, and then lift. Shaping that hip, just a couple more, moving through quickly. And then come back to a kneeling position, round your spine, rolling it on up, roll those shoulders back and raise those arms. Clasp the hands behind you, open up the chest, open up those elbows, and then side bend. And one more time to the other side. And let's extend those arms, reach one arm up, one arm down, maybe touching the floor, maybe not. And then take it to the other side, continuing to breathe, and relax it. Moving on. Our next sequence is going to stretch and strengthen the legs and the back. Support yourself with your hands on the floor as we bring the right leg forward into a lunge outside the hands. Let's walk that foot forward, maybe walk the other one back a little bit. Prepping for a nice lunge and stretch on the hip flexors. Lift the torso up, lift both arms up, reach them towards the ceiling, maybe press your chest forward, and then put those hands both down, extending the left arm up towards the sky, and then coming back, both hands inside the foot. And we're just going to try to come down as far as we can, giving a stretch to the outer thigh, maybe turning that toe out, maybe keeping them forward. If you can get to your forearms, that's great. If not, that's okay. Surround your foot with your hands, sit back, straighten out that leg. Maybe extending those toes, straighten out the spine, stretching the hamstring, come forward. Using the support of the hands that are down, we're going to lift that back knee up off the ground, extending the leg, and then letting that knee tap to the ground. Just working those legs, working on the strength portion of them. Do that one more time. And let's switch sides, dropping that knee, switching legs, walking yourself back, taking that left leg forward this time. Hands inside the foot, just walking yourself, adjusting. One set, go ahead and raise those arms both up towards the ceiling. Just giving a nice stretch to the hip flexor there, to the legs, to the chest, to the arms. Come back to the inside of the foot. And then extend that right arm up towards the ceiling, opening up that spine. Nice rotation, and then let's come down, maybe onto the forearms, maybe turning out that toe. However you feel best. We're tighter often in the morning, so whatever you can do to gently open up that body. Let's surround that foot with the hands and sit back and stretch out the hamstring. Keeping that foot extended, trying to straighten that back. And let's prep ourselves, shifting the weight, and lift up that back knee, extending that leg. Lift and down, just giving nice strength to those legs and a good stretch on that hip flexor. All right, and getting ourselves set up again. Now we know the sequence. We're going to go through it one more time. Giving a nice inhale, and then exhale, hands down. Right leg comes forward into a lunge, extending those legs, and then raise those arms up towards the sky, giving a nice stretch, and then come down with the hands, rotating the left arm up, opening up the spine, and then putting both hands down, maybe going onto your forearms, maybe not, just getting as deep as you can. And then surround the foot with the hands, sit back, stretch out that hamstring, moving through. Come forward, get ready to lift that back knee. And you can either keep those hands down as we did before, or you can raise that torso up with the hands on the thighs as we tap that knee down. So it's down and tap. Much more difficult this way. So pick and choose. Keeping the arms down is just fine. We've got one more. And then relax it. Come on back down and let's switch sides. Taking that left leg forward, getting yourself set up for a nice stretch. We're going to reach up with both arms, stretching that hip flexor, and then bring them down. Raise that right arm up towards the sky. Nice rotation in the spine. And then hands down, come down low. Maybe the forearms touch, maybe not, that's okay. And then we're gonna sit back, hamstring stretch here, trying to elongate that spine. Come forward, maybe that knee comes up, maybe the torso comes up. Maybe you'll keep your hands down on the ground as the knee taps down. Strengthening and stretching those legs. Keep breathing, keep the shoulders relaxed, and reset. Let's move on, coming all the way down onto the stomach, stretching those hands forward. We're going to work that spine, work that trunk space, keep the toes down, and then we're going to take those hands, clasp them behind the head, like we did with those side bends, elbows up, and we're going to lift as high as we can go without putting too much pressure on the spine, and then back down. Lift and down. Lift. Press those hips into the floor. Good back support here. Open up those hands wide and then in. Going into a T. Open up and then back into the head. Open up and back in. Once more. Great. Bring them forward. Palms face each other. Pull them in towards the body. Getting set for almost like a cobra. Take a breath here. Open up the chest, open up the spine. And what we're going to do is lift those hips up off the ground and get ready for scapular push-ups, dropping through the shoulder blades and then expanding them, letting them contract and expand. Contract and expand, keeping good control. Once more, and expand. And maybe we do this straight leg. You can certainly keep the knees down if you like. Watch that neck, keep it in a nice straight line. And then relax it, stretch that out. Let's get ready to do it again. Straighten those arms out. Take a breath. And then go ahead and get ready. Clasp your hands behind your head. Keep those elbows up and lift that torso and down. And lift and down. Press those hips into the floor. Get ready to open up those arms. Yes, there we go. And open them up. Feel those shoulder blades, the spine, the back, all working. And then palms face each other. Come back onto your elbows, lift those hips up off the ground, scapular push-ups. Let's stay onto the tops of the knees or the thighs. And then if you like, you can turn those toes under and come up with that straight leg, full body scapular push-ups here. And then let's stretch that all out into a child's pose with triangle hands. So we're going to put our thumbs and our forefingers together, walking back, and then sitting back as we open up the shoulder blades. So sit those glutes back, let those feet relax behind you. Hold it there, keep breathing. Here's that triangle that we're making. We're spreading those elbows out wide as we sit back and relax. Great, great stretch for the back and the shoulder blades. Great, let's go back to the legs. Come onto your sides. We're going to isolate the adductors or the inner thighs. So roll onto one side, arm extended, lay on down. And while we're here, we'll stretch the top of the thigh, grab that top ankle, pull that heel in towards the glute, open up the shoulders, open up the top of that thigh, round that spine as you're pulling that heel in towards the glute. And then let's plant the top of that foot down behind you. Get yourself set up and balanced. Extend that bottom leg, flex the toes, make sure they're not turned in any weird way. They're shooting straight forward, and lift and down and lift. We're just going to do a couple more here. One more. And then keep it up, and we're going to roll onto our back, and we're going to open it up like making a swallow. We're going to shoot that leg up as high as it goes towards our waistline and then back in. And let's do it again. Let's lower the leg, open that inner thigh up and then up towards the ceiling and down. And again, 2 more times, circling through the hips and feeling that inner thigh work. It's okay if you traveled on your mat like I did. And then relax. Let's take a tiny reset and just let the knees drop to one side, keeping the feet planted on the floor, and then the other. Just before we take everything to the other side, just loosen up that spine and those hips that have been working. And then let's come on up and take it to the other side. We're going to extend that arm, lay our head on it, and stretch the top of the thigh first. So we'll take that top arm, take the top ankle, and then pull that heel in towards the glutes as we round the spine. We want to kind of try to tuck our hips so that we get into that top thigh stretch. Make sure that shoulder isn't crunching up towards the ear. We're keeping relaxed, feeling a nice stretch. And then we're going to plant that top foot down, straighten that bottom leg, flex the foot, and lift up and down. just targeting that inner thigh. Once more. And then we're going to roll back onto our back while extending that foot up towards our waist, up towards our face, rounding it up, and then letting it fall down straight. Rounding on through, up, giving a big circle with the legs. Rolling on through. And one more time, keeping good control in the core. And then relax it. Let's open up those arms and then just let those knees drop side to side. Again, relaxing everything and opening everything all up. And then we're going to pull those knees in towards the chest, stretching the back, and we're going to let the knees fall to one side, keeping good control, and we're going to keep rotating our chest towards our knees, just a little bit more, just enough to let that arm raise up behind us. And we're feeling a stretch in the chest region. And I'm just going to raise my arm up or down and try to feel the tightest spot where I could just let that arm hang and let the chest open up. Some of you are going to be hovering like me if you've got tight chests. Some of you are going to be down on the ground. Let's go to the other side. Reset. Lift those knees up. Scooch over if you need more room like me. And then let those knees drop to the side. And we rotate just a little bit more. Opening up that arm, opening up the chest, wiggling out those fingers if we need to. I love this stretch, but I'm pretty tight in the chest region. A lot of us are. Some people's arms can go all the way, so they'll need to just find where that tightness is by raising that arm up or down along that plane. Bring the knees back into the chest, into center, and relax it. Let's move on. And let's move into sit-ups with crab raises. So let's sit up, plant those feet, reach those arms forward, and then as we go down, we're going to turn those hands down towards the floor, palms facing flat down, pressing, lifting the hips up, open up the body, open up the shoulders, and then come down. And then we're going to continue with our sit-up, going all the way down, and then sit up once again. Same thing, full sit-up on the way up, and then coming down, reaching towards the ground, planting the hands, lifting the hips up off the ground, getting ourselves set up, opening up the chest, and then come back down all the way. And maybe reaching those arms overhead, sitting up fully, planting those feet down as much as you can. And then planting those hands down, lifting the hips up. And continuing all the way down to the ground. One more time, maybe reaching all the way up overhead, coming forward into a sit-up, planting our hands down, opening the chest, and then back down all the way. Let's continue with this movement just a couple more times. Do the best you can with these. We're just combining strength and stretch the whole time through. Control it all the way down. Great. And let's extend those legs. Let's continue to work the back and the abdominals and the core region. Press those elbows into the ground, palms face each other, and you're going to just raise your torso up off the ground and then back down. Squeeze those shoulder blades, raise the torso up, and then back down. Up, and then down. And we're going to try and bring those forearms down to the ground. That's going to be important soon. And maybe the palms down on the ground. Palms turn, press into the palms. Can you press evenly? And then sit up and stretch forward, fold, reaching towards the back of the legs. Maybe trying to straighten out that spine as much as you can. And then let's control it down. Control all the way way, pressing those elbows back into the ground, palms facing each other. And then we're going to lift up, and guess what? We're gonna press the palms down. Press, 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 lifting all the way up into that forward fold. Try flexing those feet, straightening that spine as much as possible, and then control all the way down. Make sure you're continuing to breathe. Press those elbows into the ground, turn those palms down, press into the palms, press, 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 press. That's hard. And then reach forward into a forward fold. Awesome. And let's do that one more time. Control all the way down. Last one ever. Pressing the elbows into the ground, pressing the palms into the ground evenly, and then stretching into a forward fold, and then coming all the way back down. We're gonna do it halfway one more time just to get up. We're gonna press our elbows down. We're gonna press into our palms. And then, let's open up those legs. Let's center our body. Get ready for some good final stretches. Turn those toes up, flex those feet if you can, and then walk those hands forward. Keep those toes turned up. Yep, adjust your body, adjust where you are. Moving around in stretches is okay. And then you want to really tease those muscles open as much as you can without pressing too hard, just trying to continue breathing, trying to relax into them. Flexing those knees, toes turned up. And then let's gather those feet together for a nice cobbler stretch. You can grab those toes, you can open up the feet like they're a book, you can grab the ankles, press, press, press each side. One side is often tighter than the other. You can take those feet forward. Whatever you do, try to find a comfortable way to come forward. Try to bring that chest over the feet. And many of you are going to get that chest all the way to the ground. So some of us are tighter than others, and that's okay. But we're just opening up that body together. And let's go ahead and cross our legs and circle through that waistline and the hips, just loosening it up. Getting ready to complete this workout. Take it the other way. Just rounding through the hips, rounding through the spine, loosening everything up, and we're gonna open those legs up one more time. Maybe going and side bending to one side bending to the other. Everything's loose now. One more time. Opening up. And then coming forward, walking forward once more, getting ourselves set, reaching forward, and feeling that stretch. Toes are turned up. And then go ahead and pull those feet together. Come forward with the chest, try to keep that spine straight. Feeling those hips, inner thighs stretch, back stretch. Cross, maybe different ankle is on top, and we roll on through those hips and that waist. And then we're gonna roll in the other direction. Roll on through, keeping it breathing, keeping really loose. And we are all set to start our day, or to complete it.